Everybody thinks that a Chapter 11 bankruptcy is like a simple math equation. They're completely wrong. It is not a spreadsheet, it is a ruthless knife fight over how to price the corpse. Let's look at Sears, for example, and its collapse. Eddie Lampert didn't buy the company with $5.2 billion in cash. He used a highly controversial financial weapon. Enter the Section 363K, the credit bid. Now, in a normal auction, the highest cash bidder wins, but in a Chapter 11 bankruptcy, the game's completely rigged. Under a 363K sale, a secured creditor doesn't need cash. They're legally allowed to bid using the face value of the debt. They use the dying company's IOUs as monopoly money. Eddie Lampert didn't just run Sears, though. His hedge fund was its biggest lender, so for years he starved the retail business, while lending it billions of his own dollars, secured by their most valuable real estate. He spun that premium real estate off into his own separate holding companies, and he continued to lend Sears his own money just to keep the lights on. When Sears finally suffocated and filed for bankruptcy, Lampert didn't show up with fresh cash. He executed the ultimate loan-to-own slaughter. He used a massive credit bid, forgiving the debt that Sears owed him, to buy the remaining pristine assets straight out of that Chapter 11 car wash. So he wiped the unsecured creditors to zero and he walked away with the dirt. They accused him of engineering this financial collapse just to strip the equity completely bare. He didn't just foreclose on the house, he weaponized the mortgage to steal the entire neighborhood. So how do you defend against something like this? Well, you don't fight a predator in bankruptcy court. You fight them in the loan documents. You demand strict negative covenants. You install liability management blockers. You explicitly restrict the sponsors from stripping your hard assets into unrestricted shell companies. If you miss those clauses, your only defense is begging a judge. But by the time you're arguing over net orderly liquidation value, you've already lost. The house always wins when the house writes the term sheet.